It's Hello's Eve. It's Wednesday. It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. And I'm here with Robert Karpelis, WD Creative _ish. Robert, we have an unprecedented day here on Rumor and Innuendo. We're doing a little double duty, aren't we?
We are. This is one of 2 episodes of Rumor and Innuendo that you are going to be getting today in your ear holes, your eye holes, and the only holes we're talking about, because we're not worried about Blue Chew, that's later on in the broadcast. But later on this afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern, myself and Dominic D'Angelo will be joined by the one and only Brody King. That is going to be a hell of a bonus episode. That's going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern. That'll be streaming on the WWE Creative _ish account, the SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo ad-free shows and Working Stiff. But fear not, Rumor and Innuendoans, we've got an extra episode for you right now, and we'll say hi to some of the folks joining us. Michael Watson. Happy Thursday, everyone from the Southern Hemisphere. Ooh. Michael, what direction are your toilets swirling?
Ooh, good question.
Wrestling Old Head says, Happy All Hallows Eve Day, R&I. This always reminds me of the original Crow movie from 1994. Fire it up, fire it up. That ended well. Dre Owens, the R&I Dynamite preview, AEW versus ECW next week. We're going to be talking AEW. We're going to be talking NXT. And Jeff Henninger says, last night we truly saw Rhea Bloody Ripley. We sure did. Dom.
Yeah, NXT was pretty action-packed, was it not? They had they set the tone for a lot of different stuff. We will talk about that, but we're going to talk a little bit of the Dynamite. It's Fright Night Dynamite.
See what I did there? I did a little sound effect, like a Foley artist, not a Mick Foley artist. I don't have flannel, but just a regular old Foley artist.
Just Foley straight up. Yes. So tonight is Fright Night Dynamite. There's a card on tap that we have.
I'll shift.
I have it. I got it.
I was moving my head because you usually put it in the middle.
Oh, I didn't. Don't worry. I don't have the graphic this time.
So good. I'm not getting blocked by a graphic.
Yes. No whiplash. No neck strains this time. Robert, can you guess where Dynamite is hailing from today?
I absolutely can. Dynamite is hailing from Cleveland, the scariest city in America.
Yes, it is.
I guess.
Home of Drew Carey.
I was going to say, home of Drew Carey, as your cat invades. It's a giant cat invading here. It's like forced perspective in a Roger Corman movie as you're being attacked. Anyway.
Get out of here. There we go. Dynamite it is, Robert. Yes, on tap tonight, we have Chris Statlander versus Camille. The tone has been set for kind of these 2 women to face off. Camille has been more active in the ring. What have you thought of Camille so far in the presentation of her in AEW?
Camille is a huge star. She's got a tremendous look. There is something about her when she comes out that is different, that is watchable. She immediately feels like a replacement for the loss of Jade Cargill on AEW programming, as someone that you look at and go, this is someone who transcends male star, female star. This is just a wrestling star across the board. Absolutely passes the airport test. I think utilizing her with Mercedes Moné in this Razor Diesel situation is very successful. We're seeing a similar situation with Liv Morgan and Raquel over on Monday Night Raw. This match with Chris Statlander, look, I've been slightly critical of the Chris Statlander booking of late. The idea that she was a dastardly heel, she wins her evil feud, and then immediately, boom, she's a babyface.
Right.
No explanation, no nothing. It just appears one day like Dom's mustache, and we're just supposed to pretend that it doesn't creep you out that she is a babyface, or that Dom looks like he should not be allowed to answer the door for trick-or-treating. But the video packages that they have utilized to promote this match, second to none. This feels like one of the biggest women's matches that AEW has done this year, and it's not for a title. And that's mainly because most of the title matches do not feel all that important. All due respect to Queen Aminata. This feels like a major heavyweight style match, and under normal circumstances, I would be saying this should main event the show.
Wow. Yeah. Well, to your point, I mean, Chris Statlander can show clearly many times that she can go in the ring. And so she could be a really, really nice compliment to Camille. We could have a pretty good slugfest between these two women having a match tonight. So, yeah, I think it's something to definitely dog ear and look forward to tonight. Something else to look forward to tonight is Shelton Benjamin taking on Swerve Strickland. And what should also be another kind of hard hitting, innovative matchup, I would think, with these two guys and Swerve's different kind of style. And then obviously, the background that Shelton has should be a very, very fun matchup, Robert, with storyline injected into it, too.
Storyline injected into it, man. This is, for me, this is a hell of a dream match right here.
Yeah.
I think I've always thought the world of Shelton Benjamin. I think what we've seen from him over the last few weeks has been a true revelation for how incredible, how dynamic he is in the ring. The man has turned back the clock in such a way that I'm absolutely floored in the best possible directions of what they're doing with Shelton Benjamin. He feels like a major, major player right now in AEW. Swerve was the guy when he was in NXT that Shawn Michaels essentially tapped and said, "Hey, you feel like the next Shawn Michaels." For years, that was Shelton Benjamin, was the
Yeah.
guy that everyone thought this guy might be the next Shawn Michaels. So you're going to see two wrestlers who complement each other really, really well in the ring. I think this is going to be an epic match. And what's the beauty of this match is we're looking forward to it and excited for it based on what these guys are going to do in the ring, not because we're all assuming we're going to see Bobby Lashley appear.
Right,
Would that
right.
surprise me? It kind of feels like the end direction on this. However, I kind of don't. I just want to see these guys go for 20 minutes.
Would you main event? Would this be your main event tonight, or would you open the show with this?
Um, that's a good question. I don't have the big graphic in front of me for what else there is, but yeah,
Well,
no, I would say if you're not main eventing with the women's match,
there's
then
also the
yeah,
tag team championships. There's that
as
private
I said,
review.
if you're not main eventing with the women's match, I would be going for this. The only reason why I'm a little hesitant to say that is the case is because we know at some point Moxley and his crew are probably going to show up, and that tends to be how they close the show, unless they're planning on opening the show with these guys and they get escorted out.
Yeah, yeah. And they've been opening the show with those guys too. So who knows what they have planned.
But yeah, I would main event this if the big reveal is that it's Bobby Lashley somehow laying waste to Swerve Strickland.
The Swerve and the Herd Syndicate is underway. Another match on the card is Adam Cole, baby, boom, going up against House of Black. Person we're going to be interviewing later on, Brody King, one of his compatriots in Buddy Matthews.
We're interviewing Brody King later, and Brody King is very big and very scary, so I'm going to be very polite. Obviously, this match is going to be a great match. We know that Adam Cole in the ring can go. We know that Buddy is a really underappreciated talent that we've seen in AEW, we've seen in WWE. I think the world of Buddy Matthews. Buddy Matthews is a dude that I'd be strapping the rocket to and pushing upwards as a prominent star. It's just unfortunate that we know what's coming for this year. The idea here is the first guy to 3 wins, be it Adam Cole or Roderick Strong, is facing MJF. So we've telegraphed, yeah, this is going to be the first win for Adam Cole. It's a matter of how you get to that win or why you get to that win, if there's interferences or whatnot, or they just decide they're going to beat Buddy outright. I hope that's not the case. I see a tremendous amount of value in House of Black. I said this even before Brody was scheduled to be on here, so I'm just clarifying. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a good match, furthering a storyline. I just think that the guy that they are utilizing to further the storyline probably isn't the person they should be focusing on in the near future.
Yeah, this is going to be a great match. I like both guys a lot. I'm with you 100% that there's way more ceiling that we haven't seen with Buddy Matthews than what we've gotten in AEW nor in WWE. So I really do hope that they have a satisfying outcome when it comes for both guys in this match. I'm excited for it. Should be really want to. Yeah, it's predictable though in regards to what you're doing and everything like that. And
But I always say predictable is not always bad.
no, it's not. It's
In
not.
this instance, I think this lacks a little bit of drama. The only
Mhm.
drama here is the how. They could just decide to beat Buddy outright. They could
Right.
just say Adam Cole is the guy. Look, we need to focus on Cole, get him hot for MJF. You want him to win. Part of me is just, I don't know that Buddy is a disposable enough wrestler to say, yeah, you can go ahead and beat him.
Exactly, and I think too, like you've put House of Black back into the spotlight a little bit more with Brody King, feuding with Darby and certain things like that, where it's just like, why not make the most of them? And then the reports are that Buddy Matthews signed a new deal with AEW too, reportedly, and so like, why not make the most of those guys? And so you don't want to just see him lose clean out, and then hey, he's just there. He's just in the Lance Archer role, as a part of like, hey, let's build somebody up and then boom, have him lose. So hope that doesn't happen. Hope they have some more plans for those guys after the fact here. Also, hey, will they have more plans for Private Party? Because tonight the AEW Tag Team Championships are on the line. Private Party will be taking on Matthew and Nicholas Jackson for those championships. And if Private Party loses, Zay and Quinn, they break up. They are done after 5 years in AEW. Yeah, Robert, any thoughts on this? Progressing this, will we see maybe more from the Elite in regards to their relationship with Mox's faction? What do you expect from this, Robert?
Kids, if you don't know how this match is going to end, then this may be your first week watching professional wrestling.
Hmm.
So, yeah, this is going to see the end of Private Party, who over the last 5 years had big wins over the Young Bucks 5 years ago, and then big wins over the Young Bucks a week ago.
Yeah.
Hell of a career. Hell of a career. I'm sure we'll see Stokely. I'm sure we will see a split with these guys and hopefully a continued payoff for this storyline. I think there is the potential that we see a split and then we never see what ultimately develops with these guys, which would be a real shame. Their match at the last pay-per-view, Wrestle Dream, very solid. The 6-man last week, very, very solid. I expect that we will see a lot of them flippy moves that the American
Hmm.
Dream would say. A lot of the
Yeah.
Humakarana.
Ooh.
That's one thing you don't want to catch, man. Anyway. Speaking of catching the Humakarana, guys, today's episode is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Oh, what's the Hukarana now?
No, the Humakamana. You don't want to get that. No, running your faith. You've seen the ads. You've heard us talk about it a million times, and I bet there's a big part of you, pun intended, that has wanted to try it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Blue Chew. This isn't your grandpa's blue pill. This is the one. The OG chewable tablet for better sex. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. No visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Blue Chew wants you to have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Guys, this is an American dream. This is no American nightmare. You take this, baby, and you're going to get that Humakarana all night long. You'll get the 7 stars. You're going to get that bionic elbow. You're going to get another part of your body that's a little bionic. Because Blue Chew wants the entire country to rock hard. They told me that's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code RUMOR at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code RUMOR to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Rumor and Innuendo. And speaking of things that are pretty limp right now, Orange Cassidy He's going to be on Dynamite tonight.
That's right. He is scheduled to appear. He was crestfallen at the end of last week's Dynamite when they viciously attacked the neck of Chuck Taylor, new AEW producer, apparently. And not no more, though, because he looks to be gone for a while. What do you expect to hear from Orange Cassidy, Robert?
Well, there was a comment here that was unintentional, but fits perfectly from Jeff Henninger, who said, "Oh, they tried to duplicate the Crow." It's where we're going here with Orange Cassidy. We're getting the Crow Sting version of Orange Cassidy. He is crestfallen. He is very upset about what happened to longtime AEW producer, decades-long AEW producer
Him and
Chuck
Keith
Taylor.
Mitchell like this.
Him and Keith Mitchell sitting in the production truck with Dan Bynum. It's like they've been there forever, going all the way back to World Class Championship Wrestling. Look, this is how you're going to be advancing the Moxley story a little bit, because now you've made Orange Cassidy mildly irritated. And you would not like him when he's mildly irritated. He may even pull the sunglasses down a little bit. We don't know. But someone else who's also mildly irritated, Hangman Adam Page. We'll hear another promo with him, which means we'll hear a little bit of Jay White. And we're advancing storylines, guys. I'm all in favor of building stories, continuing them, and not letting them drop off.
I'm with you, Robert. And like Jay White and Adam Hangman Page, their feud, I'm digging it. And
I'm excited to see the follow-up that we're going to see with Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher and the Don Callis. Oh, no, none of that's on the preview. Never mind.
No, that's previewed.
I'm sure it happened on Rampage. I'm sure on Rampage they were very thorough. And they explained everything that's going on. It's where Ricochet was wrestling. Yeah,
that's right.
Wrestling on Rampage and Collision. So really using him to his best. And I think wasn't Kazuchika Okada in AEW?
Who is that again?
I think he's Wardlow, right? He was playing Wardlow.
Oh, was okay. Okay, yeah, I think I remember him. Maybe. Hey, I don't know. You know, we'll see him. Hey, guess who we did see on Tuesday's episode of NXT?
Was it one of your co-hosts?
It was. I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
Well, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Magnum TA, and I'm relatively certain that they're not that that NXT is not desperate enough for ratings to blow a Greg Gagne appearance without proper advertising. So it may have been Mr. 420 himself.
That's right, Mr. Rob Van Dam. He showed up and spoke to Ava Raine. Had a little wanted to be on the spot for next week's episode of NXT, which hails from the old ECW arena, the 2300 arena on Swanson and Rittner. And sure enough, we got a little storyline development between Wes Lee and Javon Evans, and RVD closed out the show saying, hey, he had an idea of how he could get involved. And so they left a little cliffhanger. This ECW show's shaping up to be pretty damn good, Robert.
So we got Rob Van Dam, we got Bully Ray, and I believe some of the old ECW. They weren't divas. Just
the ladies.
Some of the ECW women are going to be there. Who from the ladies side? The ladies. That's creepy. I'm not doing that again. Yes, who from the women's side is going to be appearing from Extreme Championship Wrestling?
We have Dawn Marie, and we also have Francine. So a little blast from the past there. It should be pretty good. And also, Robert, there seemed to be a little phone call for my cousin Tony D. Somebody over the line there. That voice sounded a little bit familiar, a little bit full-blooded, if you will.
Oh, man, are we going to see the smallest man with the biggest feet in the history of wrestling make his appearance?
Quite possibly.
No, so if it is Nunzio, Little Guido.
Yes.
This man's feet are like, he's got like a size 17. It's like Big Show's feet. It's insane. He's like Sideshow Bob. It's absolutely baffling. I hope that we get to see Little Guido, Nunzio, whatever you want to call him.
James Maritato.
What was that?
James Maritato.
Well, yes, we could see him. I think utilizing those guys strategically on this show for a little bit of the hey, I remember that, but you're not making them the central focus. It's a chance to bring in the ECW faithful to watch NXT from the ECW arena. They want to ensure that they get a nice ratings bump going up against AEW Dynamite. So yeah, you use a little bit of the nostalgia. There's a number of folks I would love to see make appearances. I would not be mad at a Sandman appearance,
Nope.
but it's tough to use Sandman just because when you don't have the music, when you don't have Enter Sandman, it's the crowd's a little like, all right.
Yeah, there's something missing when that happens. It will be very interesting to see if there were reports after Paul Heyman got inducted into the Hall of Fame that was the WWE spiritually closing the book on the ECW story, and that appears to not be the case. It seems like they're really
No, because there's this thing called money.
yes,
And any opportunity folks have to generate revenue from ECW, they're going to go ahead and take it. There's a number of folks that are not in the WWE Hall of Fame who competed in ECW that we may see over the years. We just saw Rhino go into the TNA Hall of Fame.
right.
I know there was a little bit of hubbub, by the way, about AJ Styles not going into the TNA Hall of Fame. AJ himself came out and said, I'm the one that made the call to not go in the Hall of Fame because I am very much still an active competitor.
Right.
So this was not a souring of the relationship with WWE and TNA. In fact, we saw Jordan Grace on NXT last night. I believe she may have wrapped up with TNA. We're not entirely sure what's going on there, but there's going to be that continual back and forth. I think that they see that there is some fruit in the relationship with TNA. They're getting tremendous positive reaction for the WWE ID program.
Yeah.
And as you're getting all this goodwill, all these new projects launching, the former CEO of WWE launching his own special project, a true
right.
All Hallows Eve.
Oh my goodness. One of the scariest stories we have on tap today is the Vince McMahon. Sources who spoke to PW Insider report that the 79-year-old billionaire is in the process of setting up an entity that would finance, develop, and produce film all TV projects. The current plan for it is to be officially unveiled if and when McMahon's ongoing legal issues are resolved. Several former WWE names are reportedly attached to the project, including former COO Brad Bloom and former Senior Vice President of Entertainment Relations Kristen Prouty. Both parted ways with WWE in May of this year, with Bloom resigning while Prouty was let go. Despite having some of her former execs on board, McMahon's new company isn't expected to be similar at all to WWE and will instead focus on fiction and non-fiction products. Robert, what do you expect from this?
Vince built a virtual casting couch. What could go wrong? I've got this big bag of money.
Huge
Bring me your ideas. Have a seat.
Shark Tank.
Yeah. Oh,
let's go.
Look, in a way, that's what this is. Vince has a lot of money. A lot of money. He sold his TKO shares. He is sitting on probably about $1 billion. He's got a lot of it earmarked for legal fees because of what's going on with the Janelle Grant situation. He's got some of it, I'm sure, earmarked for muscle milk and weights because he's not allowed in the WWE gym or their offices anymore. So I think that he's seeing that he may not be valuable to people, but his money is valuable to people. So if he is someone who's able to invest in certain creative properties, there are folks out there who are willing to go ahead and take his money. Obviously, once the situation is cleared. So Vince is going to want to bring in these sort of outside creative types and say, hey, tell me your ideas, tell me your fiction, your nonfiction. Pitch me your idea, pitch me your story like it's Shark Tank, and I will help fund it. It's not a bad use of his revenue. It's not a bad use of his savviness and intellect, because I think he does have an understanding to some degree of what an audience wants. His execution with it 9 times out of 10 has not been ideal. You know, you look at No Holds Barred. People wanted to see a wrestling movie. They did not want to see that. You know, you got Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler many, many years later. Vince's initial impulses are right, and then his execution is not. And you can read that however you want. But I did not mean it the way that it came out. But He's surrounding himself with some of the smart business people who came from WWE. Obviously, a lot of his marketing and licensing deals that he entered into over the years really showed how broad the WWE brand became. And if this is how he's going to use his money going forward, fine. Those who wind up transacting with him are kind of aware of the stigma that's going to be associated with this. Like, you are dangerously close to that Harvey Weinstein territory where, even having movies released that had Harvey Weinstein listed as a producer, years later, people look at them now and go, I don't know if I feel comfortable watching this because he was at one point in time associated with it. Obviously, if Vince is cleared, maybe people are going to feel a little bit better about it and just be like, all right, he's just a weird old dude with a creepy mustache and strange eyebrows, but enough about Dom.
Oh, dang it.
Dang it, Dom. But you don't have to worry about that. Your podcast folks are out there killing it across the board. First and foremost of which is Working Stiff. Myself and Scott Chaplin will be that'll be out tomorrow afternoon. Scotty and I will be chatting tomorrow morning. We're talking AEW Dynamite, the Fright Night Dynamite reaction, as well as the upcoming Crown Jewel, the upcoming NXT crossover, a little bit of the Vince stuff, a little bit of the WWID piece, and just life in general. It's kind of the fun of Working Stiff, but you've got some other stiffs that you're going to be sitting around having a conversation with.
That's right. We'll be fast and loose on One of a Kind with RVD this week. Stay tuned. I have to correspond
as
with
opposed
Rob.
To the button-down, structured Rob Van Dam.
That's right. He's always straight-laced. RVD. But I'll be in contact with him. We'll hammer out a time and figure out when exactly we'll be recording. But keep your eyes peeled for that. Go to rvdtv.com to check out the previous episode and some new clips up there. He shares the story about Sabu working Dave Meltzer in dirt sheets back in the day. So fun little stories there. And also, hey, Greg Gagne, Magnum TA, Straight Talk with the Boss. We'll plan to record tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can tune in live with us at fourhorsemannetwork.com. Ask your questions to Greg. Ask your questions to Magnum. Magnum had an interesting pitch of how WWE could have a weekly women's show and it would work successfully. So tune into the previous episode of that on Spotify or any of your podcasts.
Sorry, there was just something funny about that. Like, what if we let the ladies have a TV show? I think 2024 people are willing to accept that women can have jobs.
It's back in there.
You know what? I don't care what anybody says here. Magnum TA think they should be allowed to vote.
How about that? Yes. Hey, Robert.
Anyway, we'll be back at 4 o'clock Eastern time today, talking with Brody King. That'll be streaming live. That'll be posted online, so you'll get 2 audio episodes. So if you're listening to this here on your iTunes or Spotify feed or wherever, go check out that Brody King episode. That'll be up later on today. It's going to be I'm going to have a blast catching up with Brody. I've got some MLW stories lined up for him that I guarantee you he has not thought of in a hot minute. So this is going to be one to catch. All these episodes are one to catch. Why would you be anywhere else, especially at noon Eastern, Monday through Friday, on a plethora of platforms, including WWE Creative_ish X account, the SC Scoops X account, and on YouTube, Rumor and Innuendo, ad-free shows, and Working Stiff. So on behalf of the mighty Bangle himself, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Meow. See you guys at 4 p.m.